are some of the most common misconceptions people have about smoke alarms or fire safety in the home?
One of them is, some people think that this just wouldn't happen to me. They hear about a fire that took place and they think, this wouldn't happen to us. Our home may be, newer, or we think that we're safe, but we're really just as vulnerable as anybody else. Fire does not discriminate against anybody. The other thing is sometimes people will say, well, we have a smoke detector. They think they have one, but they don't know when the last time it was checked or when they changed their batteries on it. But they just have this conception of, I see a smoke detector, so I think that it works, and I feel that I'm safe. But really, oftentimes we find that you're not. So I think it's important that we make sure that we actually check our alarms twice a year, inspect them. We should really be testing them if we can, just by pushing the button on them once a month. You want to actually make sure that these are working. And if you have kids as well, make sure that if you sound the alarm, that your kids know what to do and they actually hear the alarms going off. But ultimately it comes down to, early detection. That's what really makes or breaks somebody's survival, in a home fire.
One of the things too that I want to add to that is that smoke alarms are only good for 10 years.
And why is that? Do the mechanics of the smoke alarm just kind of start to
Yeah,
fall
the
off?
isotopes that detect the smoke and the fire particles decay over a certain amount of time. So you could have a 12-year-old smoke alarm or older than that, and you can press the button and it just completes the circuit. So it's just testing the battery and everything else. So it's not really doing you any good. So like Mike said, when we check these things, not only should we test to see if the alarm goes off, but we need to check the manufacturer's date. And if they're older than 10 years old, they need to be discarded and replaced.